Hello, welcome to Rando Tech Info, and our look at the new CMF Buds by Nothing. And just let me start off this review by saying, I'm confused. Just a few short months ago, I reviewed the CMF Buds Pro, and they were probably the best earbuds I have ever used at their sub $50 price point. And if you are interested in checking out that review, I will leave a link to it at the end of this video and down in the description.
Alright, I'll check it out,
Well, the CMF non-Pro buds undercut the already reasonable Pro's price by $10, coming in at just $39. And they do most things as well as the Pros, and there's even a few features I like better. First off though, before we get into the differences between these buds, we should probably talk about the things that aren't so different. Both sets of buds come with different sized ear tips to assist with good ear seal, and both look and feel almost identical, which is a good thing. The CMF buds are light, super comfortable, and never fall out of my ears even when rocking out. And rock out you can, because even at their sub $40 price point, the CMF buds sound pretty good. In fact, I think the base model CMF buds might actually have more bass and hit a little harder than the Pros. The Pros might sound a little cleaner, but I actually think I prefer the overall sound profile of the base buds. And both sets of buds allow for custom EQ settings, so you can tweak the sound to your liking. The one thing I didn't find real great about the sound on the base model CMF buds was the Ultra Bass feature. The buds have enough bass already, and when I turned it on, it really just added extra distortion, especially when cranked to its highest levels. This is a feature that's not even available on the Buds Pro, and I don't think it was needed here. The good news is you can just leave it off. Overall, the sound between the base model and the Pros is similar enough that I don't think it will probably be or should be a deciding factor between the two. And oh, by the way, I think both CMF sets of buds sound almost as good as the Nothing Ear 2s, which are currently my favorite sounding earbuds, and those buds cost $135. So overall, the sound of the CMF buds, at least to my ears, is a big plus. Just one more thing that needs to be mentioned for full disclosure is that higher end codec support on both sets of CMF buds is limited. For example, there is no LDAC support. I don't think this is a big deal, since it will only matter to more serious audiophiles, and most audiophiles aren't going to be looking at sub $40 earbuds anyway.
Good point.
Beyond fit and sound, there are a bunch of other features that both sets of CMF buds have in common, and for the most part, they are good things. Both sets of buds have in-ear detection, they are both IP54 splash resistant, they both have customizable touch controls, they both have Bluetooth 5.3, both have a low lag mode for gaming, and while it certainly doesn't eliminate lag altogether, it does make a noticeable improvement. Both have a Find My Earbuds feature that causes the buds to sing on command to help you find them.
They both have solid mic and call quality.
And the companion app for both sets of buds is available on both the Google Play and Apple App Store, which means all features will work no matter what Android or iOS device you are paired to.
Which is nice.
There are also a few less great things these buds have in common as well. Neither offers an ear tip fit test, and neither has a way to test your hearing to set up a personal sound profile. As mentioned earlier, both buds have customizable touch controls, but neither has a single tap touch control option, which is a little limiting. And neither offers wireless charging. Considering the reasonable price points of these buds, I don't think the lack of any of these features is a deal breaker, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I at least didn't mention them.
Back off me, man. Back off!
There is, however, one other issue I had that needs attention. Perhaps the biggest issue I had when testing these buds is sometimes they wouldn't connect to the app, even though they would still be connected to my phone. During my testing, this happened with both sets of CMF buds and my Nothing Ear 2s. Now, I had no connectivity issues when I tested the Buds Pro and Ear 2s before, so I think this is probably a temporary issue, or it has to do with the buds being paired to multiple devices. The good news is, even when this happens, the buds still work fine using the touch controls. You just can't access or toggle off and on the app-exclusive features.
I guess that's something.
So while both of these sets of buds indeed have a lot in common, there are also a few differences, and as I mentioned earlier, strangely, some of these differences are differences in favor of the less expensive non-Pros. For example, while the form factor of both buds is very similar, the base buds have little circles that protrude out from the buds that make it easier to find the touch control area. The base buds have a dual connection feature and the Pros don't, and I prefer the non-Pros charging case as it feels slightly less bulky and seems less prone to scuffs. Although in fairness, that could be due to the difference in color. Now, not all of the advantages tilt in one direction, and the Pros do have some advantages of their own. The Pros offer up better battery life, both with the buds themselves and with the case, but perhaps the biggest difference between the Pro and the non-Pro buds is noise controls. Active noise canceling is similar and solid on both sets of buds. It's not the best by any means, and not as good as you will find on higher-end Bluetooth buds, but better than you would probably expect for the price, and it does noticeably reduce most types of white and background noise. What is different are the transparency modes. Transparency mode on the Pros is pretty good, and it's comparable to what you would find on a lot of higher end buds. Unfortunately, transparency mode on the base buds isn't quite as impressive. You can tell when it's on, and having it on will make it easier for people to get your attention, but the sound is really cloudy and muffled, so you'll probably just want to pull them out of your head when you want to have a conversation. And to me, this is by far the biggest advantage held by the Buds Pro over the base buds, and it's definitely the most compelling reason to fork out the $10 Pro upcharge. So what are my final thoughts about the new CMF Buds? Well, in case you couldn't tell already, I like them a lot. Like the CMF Buds Pro that came before them, they offer fantastic value for the money, and in my opinion, when choosing between these and the Pros, I feel like you really can't go wrong with either. And both are going to be my default earbud recommendation to most people moving forward. As far as choosing between them, the short version is if transparency mode and a little extra battery life are important to you, then you will probably want to go with the Pros. Otherwise, I would probably just save a few more bucks and go with the new kid on the block. Well, that's all the information I have for one day. If you wind up picking up these buds, please feel free to come back here and leave your experiences down in the comments. That way we can all continue to learn from each other and make more informed buying decisions. As always, I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching, and until next time, this is Rando Tech Info, signing out.